this thing on? Alright. We need to talk about something serious today. I'm not in a good mood. Not in a very good mood at all today. And you want to know why? Because today is October 6th, 2020. And you know what last night was? October 5th, 2020. Yeah, I just blew your mind on that one. But you know what also was last night, October 5th, 2020? The rescheduled game between the New England Patriots, as you can tell, my favorite team, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. The defending Super Bowl champions, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I was going into the game not expecting a whole lot. Okay, I'm just going to be frank there. I'm usually an optimistic Patriots fan. I usually think that they're going to win every single game that they play. And I'm usually right. But this week, I just was going into the week. I wasn't looking forward to watching the game. I wasn't looking forward to seeing Patrick Mahomes just light up the Patriots defense. But then it got moved. It was supposed to be Sunday at 4:25, I think it was, maybe 4:05, some in the 4 o'clock hour. It was supposed to be scheduled for originally. And then Cam Newton comes down with COVID, or the disease, I should say. So Cam is out, and he's probably going to be out for next week's game against Denver. So who did the Patriots decide to put in Cam's place? None other than journeyman backup, who's on his third stint with New England. The bald cue ball himself, Brian Hoyer. That's right. Not the young Jarrett Stidham. The unproven Jarrett Stidham. The veteran journeyman backup, Brian Hoyer. Now, on the surface, this move seems like a good idea. He knows the system. He's been around. He knows how to play football. He should be able to just manage the game and keep the Patriots in there. Hopefully the defense can step up and make some plays like they used to. And maybe for some reason they'll be able to win the game out of some sort of craziness or something. Maybe Patrick Mahomes has an off night or something. But, so we get to Monday night at 7:25 or 7:05 or 7 o'clock. Or I don't know when the game started. I can't remember, to be honest. I don't really care when the game started. It doesn't really matter when the game started. It matters when the game ended. Oh, and this video isn't just a recap of the Patriots-Chiefs game. This video is a message to Brian Hoyer. Dear Brian Hoyer, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing? All you had to do, literally all you had to do was manage the game. The defense played outstanding for the first 3 quarters of this football game. And yet Brian Hoyer managed 3 points. When the defense held the Kansas City Chiefs, the highest scoring, fast-paced offense, deadly offense, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, all these guys, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 6 points through basically 3 quarters. I know they scored a touchdown at the very end of the 3rd quarter, but basically 3 quarters of football. 6 points. That's never happened. I think they said on the broadcast that it's never the Chiefs under Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have never been without a touchdown through 3 quarters of football. And yes, it still works because they scored a touchdown at the end of the third quarter, but that doesn't matter. The defense did their job. That's the Patriot motto. Do your job. That's what they did. They did their job. Although there was a few missed interceptions that could have turned the game around. Yes, you can say all that stuff. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Devin McCourty certainly should have had that first pick. And then who was the other one? Was it J.C. Jackson? I can't remember who the other one was deep in the end or close to the end zone, but he should have had that pick too. But other than that, the defense played unbelievably well. And yet the offense moseys on out to the field, looks promising. Brian Hoyer playing well, making some tight throws, making some impressive passes, and yet chokes on the chicken bone when it comes down to the red zone and even closer to the red zone. I think they got to as close as the 5-yard line without scoring any points. But the one play that I just fumed on, I'm still fuming on, is at the end of the second quarter. The Patriots and Brian Hoyer are down in the red zone. Easy field goal opportunity, if not a touchdown. They have no timeout. That's key. No timeouts remaining. Brian Hoyer steps back in the pocket. He's looking around. He's going to throw. He pump fakes. He senses the pressure, or does he? Because the second time he pump fakes the football, he gets sacked. You cannot take a sack with no timeouts, under 10 seconds at the end of a half. You cannot. That is a cardinal rule. You cannot take a sack under 10 seconds with no timeouts. And what does he do? He takes a sack. So, Patriots walk away with no points in the end of the half. It stays 6-3. Oh, I was so mad at that. And then we get to the second half. I can't remember if it was the third quarter I think it was the third quarter because Brian Hoyer got benched deservedly. And the third quarter, he gets strip sack fumbled because he can't make decisions. And the Chiefs end up scoring on that drive. No, they don't score on that drive because Stephon Gilmore, Peanut Tillman punches the football out of Sammy Watkins' hand. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. They traded turnovers. So, Brian Hoyer gets benched. He was god-awful at decision-making. Granted, he played... I don't want to say he played well, because he didn't. But he didn't play, horribly bad. He wasn't like a... I don't know, who's a bad quarterback? I don't know. He wasn't like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He didn't throw the game away with interceptions or anything like that. I mean, he had opportunities to win this game or at least keep it close. It didn't have to be such the blowout that it was, but Brian Hoyer just... And I'm not going to talk about Julian Edelman and how he dropped all these passes and stuff. That's a different video. That's a whole nother 15-minute rant or whatever. But this video just goes out to Brian Hoyer. I hope he sees it, because I have never hated someone more in a football sense. I don't hate the person Brian Hoyer. That's a totally different conversation. I like Brian Hoyer as a person. That's not the point. I hate Brian Hoyer, the football player, because he cost my team at least a competitive game in the second half. So I can't with Brian Hoyer right now. I hate Brian Hoyer as a football player. I hope he gets released and finds a different team, because I don't want to mess with him anymore. I'm fully past the Brian Hoyer hype train. Just leave my team, please.